And we are at a very special place today with a very special man, the man of the hour, Mr. Kirk Gibson. You started this brand new facility, the Kirk Gibson Center, to help people with Parkinson's, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We've been working on it for some time, and today we're announcing it to the public here on Northwestern Highway and Middle Belt Road. It's a convenient location where we can grab the most amount of people within 30 minutes of this facility so they can utilize it regularly.
Well, we took a walk around earlier and we mentioned the pickleball courts that are going in. I saw yoga, I saw a music area, just tons of interactive things for people to do. And you got a very large facility here, so you're going to be able to help a lot of people.
Well, we're going to be here for 11 years, and in 11 years we hope to develop some therapies that are going to help people and motivate others to, handle their situation in a way maybe they don't understand they can if they choose to. I ask everybody that's listening, have you ever been depressed? Do you feel like doing anything when you're depressed?
No.
So if you got a place to come, whether you have other colleagues, other teammates, other activities, and you get up and you get moving, would you feel better, do you think?
Of course.
And that's what we're all about. And it seems like there's a lot of negativity in our lives, maybe more so than it used to be. So let's counteract it, and this would be one of the facilities around in the area where you can do that.
Wake up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid hot.
Fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener! Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Wake Up Woodward live on the Woodward Sports Network, Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. We are live, and you know what? It is playoff Tiger Comerica Park game day. I never thought I'd be, I'm not going to say I never thought I'd be able to say that, but certainly not this year and probably not within the next couple of years, but these Tigers have made it happen. And shout out Kirk Gibson as well. Stick did a great interview with him. And not only is Kirk Gibson an all-time Tiger legend, World Series champion with the Tigers, he also has arguably the most iconic postseason moment in baseball history with the Dodgers, with that walk-off in Game 1 of the 1988 World Series. His only plate appearance of that series in which he was hurt, and he hit it off of Dennis Eckersley with 2 outs and 1 on. Everybody knows that. I don't believe what I just saw. Shout out. Just a great day to be a Tigers fan. But you know what it also makes it a great day? We've got a special guest in the house. You guys don't know it's coming, but we got our very own Justin Satawa back from Western Michigan University. Justin, what brings you in town today, man? Good to see you.
Hey, there's no one more intriguing than those gritty Tigers, and I'm here for my gritty Tigers. I had to come down. I'm going to the playoff game later. I'm super excited, super ecstatic. Who would have thought?
No.
Who would have thought?
No.
I haven't been here for this entire run, so it's really nice to catch up real quick, Flannel. Me and you were sitting here raging our asses off for months on end to get Javi Baez out of the lineup.
Oh, yeah.
For you were calling for AJ Hinch's head at one point.
No, I wasn't. I was. Go ahead.
Just an absolutely remarkable turnaround, and shout out to Javi Baez in Cancun, wherever you are, and shout out to Parker Meadows because he has been integral to this roster as we've moved into this postseason run.
Oh, shout out to all the gritty Tigers. Parker Meadows is obviously near the top of the list for what he did in the months of August and September, and what he's continuing to do in the playoffs, including that big home run to open up the scoring for the Tigers in the playoffs. Of course, as always, we got KG. Are you feeling the Tiger fever today?
You damn right, man. This is an epic day in our Detroit sports history, and I just want people to enjoy it. Like, Justin, this is your first. You've never seen playoff baseball, like, in person, right?
No, I have.
You have?
I was at the 2013,
that
era,
But, yeah, this is just, like, it's a new generation of, like, Tigers fans, man, and I just really want them to enjoy this because hopefully this becomes more of a common occurrence going forward, with the way the team is structured and everything. But just enjoy it, man. No matter what happens in this series, they actually made it this far. You can consider this a deep playoff run, and I'm so proud of like what these young guys have accomplished.
Absolutely. JB, I know you're feeling the Tiger fever as well. They have a home game today, man, at Comerica Park in the playoffs.
A home game at Comerica Park. I know it's going to be crazy. Like right now, it's the early morning, so it's the calm before the storm. But I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on downtown, but I can already anticipate that it's going to get crazy. So just get prepared for it right now, because the Tigers are playing a playoff game at home. Let's fucking go.
Oh, absolutely. LFG. That is the energy that we need. And you know what? We're going to talk a lot more about the Tigers coming up. We got Rod Beard for a couple of segments. The Pistons also had a preseason game last night at the Breslin Center. And we're also going to do a Wake Up Woodward fantasy update with KG, as we always do on Wednesdays. It was a pretty good week for me. I'm just saying, not trying to brag. but So I'm a little more eager to do it this week than I was last week. But you know what? To the victors go the spoils. And you know what I'm going to try to do in the second segment? I see it in the chat already. I see it from the Shaquille Oatmeal. Flannel, why do you hate Rake Rogers? I am going to attempt to break some bread. I'm sure none of you will accept my bread, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to try to break it. And yeah, speaking of disrespect in the chat, because we got to talk about this before we move on to the Tigers, John Fisher, you fucking bum. At Sam Reynolds, you owe every one of the viewers an apology. You needlessly wasted so much of our time on the goddamn Jets. I want a full-fledged apology for wasting my time repeatedly. Clown!
Yes.
For the record, I almost never bring up the Jets. I'm almost responding to others bringing up the Jets. But speaking of them, Robert Saleh got fired. And KG, I know you were one that said that the Jets were going to be a dumpster fire from the beginning of the season into now. So get your shit off.
Hey, man, I hate to keep piling on Aaron Rodgers because I'm a known Aaron Rodgers hater. We all know this. But I just feel like eventually the finger has to get pointed at him. When you look at Robert Saleh, yes, you can say he wasn't a good coach, but I don't know if we really saw the full capabilities of what Robert Saleh could really do, because he came into a pretty shit situation from the jump. First year, you got Zach Wilson as your starting quarterback. Second year, Aaron Rodgers blows his leg out in 4 plays. And now this year, you get fired in week 6 of a season that they let you come to the building and work, and then they escorted you out like you were street trash. Like, I don't really understand, like, what's going on in the Jets organization, but there is clearly some dysfunction there. You've heard stuff like during training camp and things of that nature. And then it's Aaron Rodgers, too, a known bad teammate, somebody that's, it's not surprising that he's at the head of this type of thing. And then when you hear some of the rumors that maybe Robert Saleh wanted to fire Nathaniel Hackett, hey, I don't know. I don't know what's true and what's not. I'm just saying he's always the common denominator.
JB, I got to get your take on this because you sent some of that stuff to our group chat. So, JB, I know you're also one that believe that in the Jets this season less than I did, and kind of saw this dumpster fire coming. So get your shit off as well. I'm here for everybody to talk about it.
I'm with KG as well too. I'm a known Aaron Rodgers hater as well. I just don't care for this man, and you can't tell me otherwise that he didn't sit here and orchestrate this whole thing of getting Robert Saleh fired so he wouldn't lose his best friend in Nathaniel Hackett. You can't tell me otherwise.
Thank you.
He would like to keep his bestie around and get rid of Robert Saleh in hopes that he could somehow turn him into the head coach. Now, I don't know what this looks like moving forward for the Jets right now, but
horrible.
This organization is just terrible. Just terrible. And I, in my head, think that Robert Saleh was like literally getting forced out by security for some reason. Like, he was still upset about the firing and shocked by all means as well too that they had to like literally escort him out. Like, something is wrong right there. That shows you.
But JB, they have an interim coach that's like no nonsense. He turns his hat backwards and yells at players. They'll be fine.
Oh, so he's like a Dan Campbell-esque type of guy.
Yeah,
Dan Campbell guy.
Yeah, we getting a whole bunch of Dan Campbell gimmicks now.
I mean,
see?
All right, yeah, fair enough. But I will say this. There's a lot of people acting real out of pocket in the chat. The Jets are still making the playoffs whether you like it or not. I don't care what anybody says. The Jets are still making the playoffs. Hey, the Bills have been struggling lately. Even though I picked them to win the division, they still got all the talent in the world. And for the record, I don't think Robert Saleh should have been fired. the defense has always been good when he's there. However, I think if I were running an organization, I wouldn't hire a defensive coach. I would hire an offensive coach to get that right because of the way the league is going. It looks like Mr. Justin Satawa has something to say on that Jets stuff too, because you probably also foresaw them being a dumpster fire.
It's crazy work that Aaron Rodgers decided that he's going to hitch his wagon to Nathaniel Hackett when Nathaniel Hackett hasn't even been calling necessarily the greatest plays to complement Aaron Rodgers this season, and the Jets' offense has been completely stagnant. With all that being said, their defense has been relatively fine, and Robert Saleh is known for his defense. So I guess the pieces aren't adding up at all. And yes, the only answer that I can come up with is that Aaron Rodgers was involved as much as it's trying to be told that he wasn't.
Oh, it very well could be. And we'll see how the Jets respond to that. Usually mid-season firings they don't bode the best for the direction of an organization, but I still think they'll make the playoffs. However, we can move on from the Jets because I'm obviously not looking so good on them with regards to them making the playoffs. But do you know what I am 100% right on? And I'm still going to be pounding the table for this, although we're not about to have those conversations yet. Did you see what Jesse Winker did last night? Did you see what Jesse Winker did last night? So the man has a 367 career on-base percentage, an 804 career OPS, hits walk-offs in the regular season and celebrates WWE style, and then hits playoff home runs and has over 1,000 playoff OPS in this postseason. Come on, bring him home. Anybody say no to this team? Maybe slide Spencer Torkelson out, put Jesse Winker on in, and hey, I'll tell you what, though. I've been pounding the table. He's an OBP machine, an on-base percentage machine. He's got a career 800 OPS. He's showing out in the playoffs. He was a big shot in the arm for this Mets team. Bring Jesse Winker home, and I will pound the table. Pound it. Pound it, pound it, pound it.
Bring Flannel his Winker.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Let's go.
You watch it with all that pounding, buddy.
Hey. Did you see that just nuke that he hit last night, though? In the playoffs. With everything on the line.
In the playoffs?
Playoffs. Jesse Winker comes through.
I give you a pass. You sound like you're talking about a Detroit Tiger. Maybe it's about the future here with Jesse Winker.
Of course.
Let's go.
Hey, and I've seen it gain a little bit more traction amongst some of my friends and some of the people around here. But just remember, I'm going to be like gatekeeping like some people are with the indie band that got big. I was here first. I was here when you guys didn't even know who Jesse Winker was. With all due respect, I was here. The man just gets on base, and he hits postseason home runs.
Especially, man, when we keep looking at the Detroit Tigers, their makeup, I keep thinking that, hey, these wins right now means that maybe they can convince Chris Ilitch to open up the pocketbook. But part of me is like, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's like, see, I told y'all it could be done. That's where a guy like Jesse Winker becomes somebody very, very vitally important who can add a lot to your team without having to have Chris Ilitch kind of go against his nature if he chooses not to.
He's cheap. I mean, at least he was cheap. I wonder if this playoff run is going to make him a little bit more expensive, but who knows? All I'm saying is that
I would bet it does.
It probably does. All I'm saying is that I've been calling for Jesse Winker. Everybody kills me every time I say one thing slightly wrong, but I am right as rain on this one. Jesse Winker to the Detroit Tigers, 2025.
And I was going to say,
yes,
getting a Jesse Winker also, right? It's saving a little money, but getting somebody who can contribute right now. I believe that gives the Tigers the best opportunity to be buyers at the trade deadline if they have to. We're not expecting them to take a step back. We're expecting them to be building towards the future. And the best way, in my opinion, to spend that money is to be able to go get somebody hot. And sometimes the way that you know that best is at that trade deadline. So Jesse Winker might honestly be your best kind of, when you're talking about the strategy of getting the Tigers back, it might be better to just go, you know what, Chris Ilitch, we hope you open up the checkbook a little bit, but this is a strategy that can help kind of protect us and hedge us against our risk here.
Well, sure. And for the record, if the Tigers decided to spend big, and I know this isn't an off-season show yet, I just, relating it to Jesse Winker, if they decided to go after a Pete Alonso, who's been showing out as well, if they decide to go after like a Bregman or Juan Soto, which would be amazing, I would be all for it. Or like a Max Fried or a Corbin Burns, I would be all for it. But there is ways to make a team better that's already in the playoffs that are going to be cheaper. And that man is Jesse Winker. And he's now hit a home run in the playoffs. What more could you ask for? Jesse Winker, you are Detroit Tiger 2025. But do you know where you can go all the time for all of the fun and for the pregame shows on the Lions home games?
Where is that?
Second Best Bar.
Hey, you know what? Second Best Bar. You got to join us. It's Detroit's very own, located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show only at Second Best Bar. Come get some.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust, on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Let's drive. And you know what? We don't really have to deliberate about this. We're driving right down the legendary Woodward Avenue because our sports teams are on the rise, man. We got the Tigers in the playoffs, which afforded us the opportunity to have October in the D.
Oh, yeah.
All 4 sports teams are active right now. The Lions, in the middle of a Super Bowl expected year. The Tigers, wow, they surprised us and made the playoffs.
Yep.
And you know what? Tomorrow, the Red Wings home opener has been pushed back 1 hour to accommodate a little bit of this October in the D. The city's going to be insane.
Yes.
Insane tomorrow. But we got a game today as well. And it's going to be absolutely crazy. I cannot wait just to kind of feel like a lot of the pregame vibes. So I already know the game's going to be absolutely on fire.
Oh, it most certainly is. But do you know who else has been absolutely on fire in the playoffs? Mr. Jake Rogers. I know everybody thinks I hate him. I know people think that I'm cringing giving him credit, but that is simply not true because he does, in some ways, at least in these first 4 playoff games, represent the gritty Tigers as well as just about anybody because allegedly, and this is coming from Jeff Rieger, if you have that tweet available.
Oh, yep.
Absolutely. Where Jake Rogers comes into the dugout and AJ Hinch, or Jake Rogers went up to AJ Hinch, and AJ Hinch Jake Rogers asked AJ Hinch if Hinch was going to pinch hit for Jake Rogers. AJ said no, it's his at bat, and Rogers responded, "Sweet, it's Class A."
Love it.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, man, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
This is where this team is right now. This is where their head is. And AJ Hinch, whatever mojo he has as it relates to working through the bullpen and the batting lineup, there's something different about how this team is believing in who they are. And we sit on the outside and we look at what should be based on all the stats and the facts. But this is where you see that there are coaches who understand X's and O's, and then there are coaches who are absolute leaders of men. And AJ Hinch is one of those guys who's proven to be both, just like Dan Campbell. We saw through the Lions a lot of years where they had leaders of men, and then some years where they had X's and O's guys, and they can never pull it all the way together. But with AJ Hinch, he's proving that he's able to do both, to the point that when you see a guy like Jake Wright, not Riley Green, not Scoobs, Mr. Rake himself, bro, out there saying, you know what? Oh, I get an opportunity to go out there and at least public opinion wise help my guy Scooble out, definitely gonna do that, man. Put a hit on Class A. I love that. No fear.
And it's crazy because Jake Rogers, at least prior to that at bat, would be justified if he had some fear in going up against Class A based on what he's done throughout the entire regular season, what he did through his career, what he had done in his postseason career, which prior to that appearance against the Tigers had never given up a postseason run. But Jake Rogers didn't give a damn. He didn't give a damn that his numbers throughout the season weren't good. He didn't give a damn that this was his first ever playoff appearance. He just said, you know what? Somebody's got to get a hit off of him sometime, and it might as well be me. And then it started a ripple effect, which turned into Trey Sweeney, and then of course we know what happened with Kerry Bonds, aka Kerry Carpenter, hitting one of the biggest home runs, one of the biggest plays period in Detroit Tigers history. But all of it started with Jake Rogers, like we all predicted, right?
Yep.
John Anthony Lord will say that he did. You're lying, but you get what I'm saying.
And it's awesome, man, just to see the answer, because I get complete vibes. Like, I would come home from school, I'd be like, Mom, what's for dinner? Pizza. Oh, sweet. It's just like, that's the vibe that you got right now. Jake Rogers, did you realize you guys were down one game in the ALDS in Cleveland? That if you lose this one, everything goes to crap? No, but like you said, they don't care about any of these narratives. And that's another aspect of this. Not caring about what the outside people are saying, not caring about even what we are saying, but believing in what you can do no matter what the odds say. Because they've been defying the odds, not just narrative busters. So think about it. The fact that we had a 0.2% chance to make the playoffs. Why do I need to be scared about anybody else that we could face?
That's fair. I mean, I guess more players across Major League Baseball, especially when you're the Tigers, especially when you're kind of on a free roll, could benefit from that mentality of what's the worst that can happen? Class A strikes me out, like he's done to hundreds of batters throughout his career. And Jake Rogers, he just went up there with absolutely no fear, and I love to see it. KG, I want to ask you,
what?
Is this the type of mentality that can carry the Tigers to heights where they maybe play above themselves?
Absolutely. I mean, look at what happened with the Lions. It's the same exact thing. I know we throw that word grit around and it's all, just a regular part of life now, but that actually meant something. That meant building a culture. That meant coming together. Even though we might not be the most talented, we're still going to come out here. We're going to give you everything we got, and we're going to punch you in the mouth. And that's the makeup of a lot of Detroit teams, so I'm happy to see the Tigers actually take this approach, lean into the youth movement, and just have like a good chemistry in that locker room, because it seemed like that was lacking for so long.
Yeah, you love to see it.
That's a good one. The good chemistry is the one that I like, because generally when you talk about chemistry, I think people, they instantly think about rhythm. But there's, what's the rhythm between the 1-2 double play punch? What's the rhythm between the catcher and the pitcher and things of that nature? Yeah. But sometimes there has to be the right rhythm and the right character. That's what I believe, and we're going to talk about it later today. But with JB Bickerstaff, though the Pistons team, they still have a lot to improve on, he's applying character to them. And that's what I see with this Tiger squad as well. They have a certain character and a certain personality about them that, honestly, it's a difference maker in these types of games and series. They've been able to defy every odd because of stuff like this. There's those intrinsic things that I'm grateful that we have an AJ Hinch right now for this type of stuff, man.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Yes, and because I'm Flannel Sam, because there's always a little bit of a catch, I, of course, am going to kumbaya on Jake Rogers because of what he's done in the playoffs and what he's done the whole year when it comes to being Tarek Skubal's personal catcher, which is probably his most valuable asset, honestly. I'm going to kumbaya, but to the people who are being a little too out of pocket about Riley Green, you're going to have to kumbaya with me as well so that we can enjoy the Tigers moving forward. JB, I made a list in 2 parts of some things that as Tigers fans we just have to accept to be true. And if we can't accept that these are all true, then we can't move forward.
I'm interested.
Throw up page 1.
Let's hear this.
Number 1, Riley Green is arguably the number 1 reason the Tigers are in the playoffs. I said arguably. If you want to argue Skubal, if you want to argue AJ Hinch, if you want to isolate the season to those last 2 months and say Parker Meadows, Kerry Carpenter, that's fine. But it is certainly arguable because, as I've said before, When you go to the Detroit Tigers, when you look up their stat leaders for qualified hitters, all across the board, it's Riley Green, batting average green, home runs green, RBIs green, on-base percentage green, hits green. And if you want to go to, in terms of qualified batters, OPS green, WAR green, his was 5.4. The next closest in terms of positional players on the team was Matt Vierling at 2.9. However, at number 2, this is where I have to say that he deserves some justified criticism for this. Riley Green has not performed up to his standard in the playoffs. Do we all agree?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Number 3, Jake Rogers had a terrible season offensively. His batting average was under 200, so John effing Lord, put your swords down. His batting average was below 200 in the regular season. Number 4, this will make you happy, John effing Lord. Jake Rogers has had a more impactful offensive postseason than Riley Green.
Even Sam said it.
Absolutely. Do have part 2 of this list because there's a couple of more. Number 5, Jake Rogers' greatest value this season has been catching Tarek Skubal, both in the regular season and postseason.
No lies detected.
Number 6, people need to chill on the Riley Green slander after 4 career playoff games. Look at that. See, we can all kumbaya about some things. Because I understand that Riley Green has not played up to his standard. I understand that some people might be disappointed with that. It's just, I think some fans, and this isn't me attacking Tiger fans or anything like that, they don't understand perspective of baseball. Because when you really look at it, Riley Green, he has struggled 100%. And the Tigers are going to need him to be better if they're going to make a long run. But that's just baseball, man. Sometimes you get in slumps. Sometimes an unsung hero steps up. I mean, in 2018, Steve Pearce won the World Series MVP for the Red Sox on a team that had JD Martinez and Mookie Betts. On 2022, Jeremy Pena won a World Series MVP on an Astros team that had Jose Altuve, Bregman, Alvarez, and Kyle Tucker. In 2021, Jorge Soler won a World Series MVP on the Atlanta Braves on a team that had Freddie Freeman, Ozzie Albies, and Ronald Acuna was out, and they still won the World Series. And in 2016, Ben Zobrist won a World Series MVP on a Cubs team that had Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant and Jake Arrieta and John Lester. Sometimes it's just random and weird. Sometimes people get hot in the playoffs, and you've seen it with Jake Rogers, and you've seen it not just with Riley Green. Bobby Witt's having a terrible postseason. In the same amount of games, he has a worse postseason OPS than Riley Green. Do you think Kansas City Royals fans are ready to throw him out? I get it. Bobby Witt was an MVP caliber player, and Riley Green was not. But in terms of value to their teams, I think they're somewhat similar. So my thing is, we can celebrate Jake Rogers, but we need to chill on Riley Green. He will bounce back, and even if he doesn't, you cannot call him a playoff choker by any means based off of this one postseason. You can't call him a fake all-star just based off of this one postseason. And for those of you who are just saying, man, Riley Green had that really bad at-bat with a runner on third, swinging on the first pitch, hitting a weak grounder, that's fair. But if you want to call him a fake all-star or a choker, I'm sorry, I'm not with that, and I never will be.
Yeah. You know what I am with, though?
What?
This Flannel and Jake Rogers, right? Never scared. Single.
I ain't never scared. What?
Hey, man, I had to cook it up for the show, especially since I knew.
Oh, that's a classic.
Since I knew he was going to definitely be giving Jake Rogers a little bit of love. And ultimately, baseball is a game of streaks. You know, you go on your hot streaks, you go on your cold streaks, and sometimes you just don't control when that happens. There's so many different elements in the game of baseball from a mental, in sports in general, but in baseball especially, when you're trying to hit a ball that is being thrown 90 to 100 miles an hour, sometimes yes, you go through some stretches, some cold stretches. And with Riley Green, though, I do believe he's going to be somebody that shows up big at some point in time during this Tigers run. It's just what players like that do. And when you don't have those guys going, you got to know that you got a squad that can pick up those guys. Yeah. How long during the season did Riley Green pick up the Tigers? And so as we get here right now, I'm glad to see guys like Jake Rogers and Trey Sweeney and others making contributions. Because if they get hot, if the guys that we've come to rely upon get hot, I'm looking at this Tigers team sitting 1-1 right now with a great chance to go up 2-1. They have the opportunity to really make something special happen, bro.
Absolutely. And Matt Broder in the chat. Good to see you, Broder.
What up,
Mentions
Broder?
George Springer. He won a
B-Dog.
World Series
Broder.
MVP in 2017. And as we all know, Matt Broder struck him out in a college game when he was with Michigan. The only reason I didn't bring up George Springer is that he was a bigger star throughout the season than, say, like Steve Pierce was or Ben Zobrist was or like Jeremy Pena, for example. But that's another example of he may not have been their best player. He just had a really great World Series. And just to further the point, Mike Trout has been in one playoff series, was 1 for 12. Barry Bonds, in his first 5 postseason appearances, had a 196 average.
Wait, I thought Barry Bonds just hit a home run in Game 3 or Game 2. Oh, sorry. Wait, that's Kerry Bonds. Sorry.
Look at this guy.
Aaron Judge has a career 208 postseason average, and this is his 7th postseason, and the Yankees haven't won a World Series. Willie Mays, the great Willie Mays, has a 668 career playoff OPS, and Ted Williams, in my opinion, the greatest hitter to ever do it, was in one World Series because back then you either made the World Series or you went home, had a 533 OPS in the 1946 World Series. So only Riley Green struggles, right? No, my point is that you have to have perspective. It happens. It doesn't make any of these guys less than or a choker. It just means that there were moments where they didn't come through. And by the way, the Tigers are 3-1 in this playoffs, and they are well alive to do everything that we want, even more than what we could have ever dreamed of. So let's just all kumbaya and not just get into this victory lap culture.
And have the expectation that Riley Green's going to bounce back. I mean, he is the pedigree of this team. He's the best hitter on this team over a consistent basis and on lefties and on righties. So it would only make sense for him to eventually pop off and be a crucial part of this run if this run continues.
But that's what makes sense. And in sports, we know it's all about emotion. You got a lot of fans right now who've been waiting for times and situations like this. A lot of fans, honestly, in your demographic, man, who've been waiting to see an era like this, hearing, wait, the Pistons, Tigers, Wings were all good at the same time, and the Lions had years where they were percolating as well. And we haven't seen anything like that in, what, decade plus? Now we have an opportunity where you see the Lions with expectation, serious expectation, something we've never seen. And they're cashing in. And the Tigers right now, who I don't know who expected this, so it's just like
Nobody
did. So part of me is just like, hey, let's settle down right now with how much we're going to criticize. But if you're there, then I understand why some of the criticism is going to be there. And the fans, I just think it's all emotions right now. We don't know how to act in this position. It's been too long. That's what we said with the Lions. The same old Lions, they're dead and buried. They're the brand new Lions. But in terms of us being fans, learning how to do this all over again, I gotta be honest with you, it's kind of fun.
You know,
it is fun. It's nerve-wracking, but fun.
You know what's great? When you become the person that you detest the most. One thing that has always driven me crazy, but I did this today, so I'm giving this guy credit, is every single time Jared Goff has ever had a bad game, Neil Rule will come here the next day and be like, oh, did you see that guy who didn't play well enough? Oh, Jalen Hurts. Oh, Josh Allen. Oh, Joe Burrow, if they had a bad game as well. But I understand it. The point that he was trying to make and that what I'm trying to make when it comes to Riley Green is that this stuff happens all of the time when you get outside of your, Detroit blinders. And I'm not saying having Detroit blinders is bad. It's just, it's good to have that perspective that a couple bad postseason games are okay, especially if the Tigers are winning. A couple of bad regular seasons are okay, especially if the Lions are still alive to accomplish everything that they want. That's always what I think Neil Rule was trying to say and what I'm trying to say. And man, it feels a little dirty giving Neil Rule that kind of credit, but you know what? Sometimes you live and you learn. And when you have somebody who you're kind of a fanboy over, which I am over Riley Green and Neil certainly is over Jared Goff, maybe you draw the swords a little bit more than you should, but it's also good to have that perspective. That's all, that outside perspective that these things happen all over Major League Baseball, all over the National Football League, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? It's a high day today. That's a high week.
Absolutely.
Tigers, Wings getting going, Lions on Sunday. Hey, man, let's rock.
Absolutely. And you know what? When we come back, we're going to actually get into the Game 3 because there's a game happening today, a playoff game at Comerica Park. But if you want a pregame for it, maybe get a little bit more mellow, go to Dispo, of course.
I'm high day, high fan.
Absolutely. How would you like $10 of free products from Dispo Dispensary? That's right, I said $10.
Boy, would I.
Oh, you absolutely would. All you got to do is go to any Dispo location, make a purchase of at least $25, and hey, you get that coupon. Scan it right over there to my left, I believe. Yes, to my left, and you could get yourself some of the best cannabis products that you will ever find at Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Now, look, I know you've heard about Long Drink, that gin-based cocktail, but
Long
we got
Drink.
one here made right in Michigan so you can support locally, made with natural ingredients for an even better flavor. That's Taller the Dutch Long Drink from New Holland Brewing Company that is shoulders above the rest. Made from New Holland small batch gin, 100% real grapefruit puree for a fresh and delicious flavor for you. It's Taller, your local long drink, and it's supporting locally as well too. Grab yourself one today. I know they'll be having a couple of these on the watch party later on, so you got to stop by and check them out.
Hey, and then of course, after you have some of those, go to Planet Fitness. Sweat it out. Fitness that fits your budget. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa featuring hydro massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. Or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
And what up, though, people? We are back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. And you know what? Hey, we got a full-packed building today. Shout out to our brother Broder, who's in. It's your boy Brandon Den, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer. Hey, drove right in from Lansing. It was a dope environment, man. The Pistons game was wild, and we're going to talk about it because we got the legend on for a couple segments. We got the vet of the squad right here, Flannel Sam, the vet of the network, man. We got that dude Justin, the intern Chase in the building. It's dope and great to see you here, Justin. And it's a booth, this elite booth. We got Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth. Elite. Mr. KG, how you doing, man? Black Hollywood.
I'm feeling good, man. I'm ready for this Tigers game today. Remember, we are doing a watch party today. We doing an hour of E&E from 2 to 3, and then we will be swapping out for the watch party. Make sure y'all tapped in. Make sure y'all be in the chat. Like, subscribe, and tell a friend, man, because this is going to be an epic day in Detroit sports.
Hey, and Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth with the fire hat on, it's JB Smooth.
J Bizzle.
It's so fire. Oh, I see.
Shout out to Pistons.
I see the hoodie.
The Poison Ivy as well too. I can't.
How much does Stick pay you to wear that? Not just
He didn't pay me anything. He didn't pay me anything. Just supporting the boy Ivy. You know, shout out. You know, I know the Pistons didn't win yesterday, but still, it was a good outing.
Hey, it was. But you know what's really good? chat family, man. As always, you guys are the most important part of the entire WUW Crew production. Go ahead and smash that like button. You know what? It's ALDS Game 3, but to break it down, go ahead and satisfy that like button. Let's get the mojos right.
Shit.
Go ahead and treat it right.
Oh,
treat
damn.
it nice.
Got me touching my chest and shit. Hold on. Hey, man.
You gotta
Hey,
get flannel in on these, man.
Hey, it's flannel ain't ready, man. These Tigers got us sprung a little bit. You know, we hope we got you a little sprung too. So just go ahead and hit that like for us. You know you want to.
Hey. Well, let's rock, man. Let's jump into it. ALDS Game 3. I'm telling you guys, man, anybody that watches this show from outside the state of Michigan, you will hear the entire state of Michigan today, especially if they win. Especially if they win. Let Riley Green send one to the moon. You're going to hear Flannel Sam from wherever he is, man. I mean, we've seen it, man. Detroit has done well. They have done really good with these big events, and they've been waiting. We've been waiting so long for this. We started the season with a little bit of optimism. It got really rough. Then we saw the injuries, and now, ta-da! ALDS Game 3 against the Guardians with a great chance to actually win the freaking game.
Hey, absolutely. And you know what? I want to get the opinions of my guys in the room. KG, do you expect the Tigers to win today?
Hell yeah. Why not? Your bullpen, they got to give you one. I mean, that's the only way they're going to get through this series. I'm really confident if they throw Tyler Holden back out there today that he can right the wrongs from game one, man. And then I'm just excited for what else we got in the bullpen. You know, Sean Gunther, I know Will Vest ready to go. Whatever AJ wants to throw out at this team, they will be ready. I know the starter that they're facing today ain't necessarily the greatest either, so I expect the offense to put some runs on the board, hopefully early. So looking forward to it.
I love to hear that. I love to hear that. Justin, you're going to be in the house. Do you expect the Tigers to win Game 3?
I expect us to win. I expect it to be loud. I expect it to be rowdy. I expect the Guardians to be completely uncomfortable playing in an environment like that. Cleveland did not show out. I'll say it straight up. Cleveland did not show out. They don't know what they're going to see in Detroit. It doesn't matter that it's a day game for Detroit. I also saw something, and I'm sorry, this is slightly off topic, but Barstool Tate, I don't know if you know who that is. He was saying that they will have a crowd in Detroit because our unemployment rate is so high.
What? Ooh.
That's crazy work.
Yeah, it is.
We have some of the best fans in the country. Straight up, we will be there to support our Tigers. I'm missing school. People will be calling off work. People will be missing work, even if they're not allowed to. This city loves their Tigers, especially the gritty Tigers, and you better watch out for that environment today, Guardians.
Sounds like a little bulletin board material.
These people, man.
Hey.
They still trying that, like, from 20 years ago stuff. It's like, look, I get it. We went through a little bit of it, had to build up. But Detroit is at that stage right now where they got the girl and they know it. They've lost a little bit of weight. And they're like, I'm feeling good. You still talking while I'm stepping over you with my now and later gators and my buffs on?
Ooh.
Bro, like, are you kidding me? Like, serious? Bro, hit that gas station and get you one of them Detroit script hats or something like that. Straight up, man. Enjoy your time here.
Talk your shit.
Stool, bar, whatever, poop. I don't really care. I don't really care, bro.
That guy's an absolute clown, by the way. And everybody everybody knows that.
I didn't want to respond to this.
Everybody
I saw
knows
it.
that. Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to say one word. I'm telling you, I saw the heavies, I saw it, and it's been boiling my blood, Justin.
Well,
I'm so serious.
Well, if we as Detroiters want some more bulletin board material, The Athletic put out a list of the most hostile postseason environments, and care to put that up? Let's see where the Tigers end up.
Barstool Tate, you're ignorant.
Ooh. Comerica Park is at 8 on this list. Petco Park at San Diego is 1. For those of you who are listening on podcast, number 2 is Citizens Bank Park of Philadelphia. 3 is Yankee Stadium. 4 is Dodger Stadium. 5 is Kauffman Stadium for Kansas City. 6 is Citi Field for the Mets. 7 is Progressive Field for Cleveland. And 8 is Comerica Park for Detroit. And let me just say this. I think as Detroit sports fans, or as Tiger fans, we shouldn't see this as an insult. We should see this as a challenge, because the reality is the Tigers.
Insult.
The Tigers haven't been to the playoffs since 2014. Nobody even knows, can really say with certainty that this Tigers Comerica Park atmosphere is going to be raucous. We know that it is. We know that after these next 2 games, Comerica Park will have to shoot up on this list. But you know what? If you're a Tigers fan, you should just look at this and be like, okay, we'll show you. Because I'll tell you what, Comerica Park is going to be the loudest and most raucous stadium of any of these for these playoff games, because we're so starved for it. So let's make some people change some minds and opinions. But as of right now, the Tigers still got to do it because it's been a long time.
Man, I get the Tigers having to do stuff. That's a shot at Detroit sports fans, man. Let me tell you something. Every time we show up, we show out. Facts. And I'm sorry, Progressive Field at number 9 when their craziest game was filled with Tigers fans? That's stupid to me. I'm just saying, I know that these lists don't matter. The Detroit Tigers and the Detroit fans are going to continue to prove exactly what we are. Oh, my God. Back-to-back stupidity, man. And it's like you got to address it, though. You have to address it because we're not going to let anybody push narratives on their national platforms without us responding to it. But I already know what Detroit's going to do. Have you been to the Lions games? It's a national narrative for a reason. It's not like Lions fans aren't Tigers fans, aren't Pistons fans. Like, what are we doing? This type of stuff is wild.
Think about it from that angle, though. From that angle, they are just now starting to respect Ford Field as a hostile environment.
Facts.
Like, the rest of the league weren't put on notice necessarily until last year in the playoffs how truly rowdy Ford Field gets. And we just continue to take this disrespect as Detroit fans that we don't have these elite environments. But every single time you go back in history when we're really good, we are a hostile environment. We are a tough place to play. You don't want to come to Detroit. You don't want to travel to this city to play us. We will give you everything that you can handle from a crowd perspective when it comes to heckling, when it comes to cheering, yelling, making it a nasty place to come and play a baseball game, a football game. It doesn't even matter what sport.
And I agree with a lot, but I do push back on this one notion. The Lions have been making noise for a while. That decibel thing and the Lions creating false starts and all that went back to the Matthew Stafford days. People knew what Lions fans were doing, especially when they made the playoffs underneath during that Stafford era. So, and you guys forgot what Comerica Park was.
It wasn't to the level of now, though. That's all I would say. It's not to the level of what it is now.
And I mean, let's be real here. It's been a while since they've seen, the Tigers in the playoffs. Like, they don't know. They haven't been in that atmosphere. They don't know what it's like to have a million Detroiters, or not a million Detroiters, but a stadium full of Detroiters on their feet.
They know
the
what
entire game
looks like at the NFL draft.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
But they need to see it at Comerica, though. That's all, and they will, and they 100% will, and we're gonna crush all of these narratives. And before we get to Rod Beard, I just wanted to discuss the game really, really briefly. The Cleveland is going with Alex Cobb as their starter. He's an offseason acquisition, a 14-year vet, 37 years old. Only pitched 3 games this season because of injury. He's about a 3-pitch guy. I believe he's got a sinker, a splitter, and a curveball. He doesn't throw hard, but there's a lot of movement on his pitches. But to me, the fact that he's a righty, the fact that I don't think that he necessarily puts fear in batters, he's a little bit more crafty. I think this is a day where you get Kerry Carpenter in the lineup, you get Colt Keith in the starting lineup, you get Riley Green hitting against righties, which he is better against righties than lefties. I think this is a time where you finally see the Tigers offense really put it together. And I understand. I thought it would happen against Matthew Boyd, and I know I'm going to hear about it forever. But eventually, a Cleveland Guardians starter is not going to shut out the Tigers. They don't have the starting pitching staff for it. They just don't. And Alex Cobb, he hasn't done a lot. He hasn't pitched a lot this year, and he might be rusty. So this is a perfect spot where the Tigers offense has to get right. Get on these pitchers early instead of waiting until late to score your runs. And one quick question about our pitching staff going up against the Cleveland Guardians lineup. And I want to pose this to the room. Nobody knows who the Tigers are pitching at, who are they opening with. It's still set as undecided. So far this series, the Tigers have handled Jose Ramirez. He hasn't been that Tiger killer that we've known him to be throughout his career.
Well, Scooble's his dad, so...
That's fair.
But besides game one,
he got one hit, but I believe he's hitting like 166 in the series. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Does that mean that Jose Ramirez is due, or that means that Jose Ramirez is going to finally have a bad series against the Tigers?
I mean, you would hope, man, but Jose Ramirez is really, really good, man. He's maybe one of the most unsung MLB stars there is. I feel like he's due, but I also feel like the Tigers, they have enough in the chamber to be able to combat that as well. Now, of course, you don't want them to go crazy, but the fact that they've been able to do, pretty much keep him subdued is a good thing, man, because he is the best hitter in their lineup. Let's not make a mistake here. So the Tigers just keep doing what you're doing. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Justin? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, Justin.
Justin, is it a good thing that Jose Ramirez has been held relatively quiet or a bad thing? At least with regards to moving forward.
I mean, with regards to moving forward, you couldn't have asked for a better start in terms of combating Jose Ramirez. I think constant that has been in Detroit sports history in the Tigers playoffs is there's that one dude that's just an absolute Tiger killer that ends seasons. And that hasn't happened. And you're hopefully seeing the inverse of that with Kerry Carpenter, where Kerry Carpenter, going against another favorable pitching matchup today, can go off and be a guardian killer and take complete control of this series. So, yes, it's amazing. I would hope it continues. I don't think it's feasible to continue. I think that eventually he's going to get a hold of one. But I think that the fact that our offense has been a little bit more sustained throughout this series gives me hope that even with Jose Ramirez bouncing back at some point, that we can have a step up, especially with Riley Green. Like, if Riley Green and Jose Ramirez both stay on this plateau of both of them being mid in this series so far, then I'll take that, because I'd rather have Riley Green be ineffective and Jose Ramirez be ineffective and just have the rest of the lineup determine who's going to win this series.
Well, and the good news, too, is that Jose Ramirez could very well have a great game, could very well have a great rest of the series. But if you're a Tigers pitcher, no matter who you are, there's probably going to be many of them today. You got to make sure that you get Brian Rocchio out, you get Andres Jimenez out, you get John Kensky Noel out, you get whoever Bo Naylor, Austin Hedges, whichever one is playing catcher is out, and you get Lane Thomas out. Because those, and I get it, the playoffs are weird. See Jake Rogers being your best hitter so far. But if Jose Ramirez kills you, you can live with that. At least if he gets a hold of a couple but you still win, you can live with that. What you can't live with is what happened in Game 1 where Lane Thomas hit a 3-run home run. And Lane Thomas blows. I respect him for what he did, but he sucks. I want offers. I want offers for him. I want offers for Jimenez. I want offers for Rocchio. I want offers for those bums, Naylor and Hedges. Offers across the board. Offers.
They're probably on the other side talking about, I want offers for Jake Rogers. Offers.
Absolutely. I know. The playoffs is weird, but let's get to Rod Beard, because I'm sure he's got a lot to say about the Tigers and other sports, but probably more so on the Tigers, because what a time it is to be alive. But for Lions coverage, which you're going to be seeing this Sunday, start off with Woodward and Maine. Hey, Detroit, on game day, wake up with Woodward and Maine, your source for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champions, your Detroit Lions. With insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder. Get ready to Detroit every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. Woodward and Maine, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Tall Your Local Long Drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And then watch the pregame show. Look at those trustworthy men up there who are going to give you all of your game day coverage. It's the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Every game day, Neil Rule and Sean Belegian bring you the best Lions pregame show, Sunday 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports, live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. The latest injury reports, fantasy sit and starts, and the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions. Join us for every Sunday home games live at Second Best Bar in Detroit, your official guide to Lions game day on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Tall Your Local Long Drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Hot Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
KDK Law, your source for issues that nobody wants to go through. Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Is she from Cleveland? Divorce her.
Absolutely.
What up, though, people? We got the Tigers trying to divorce the Guardians from these playoffs, man. All right, but you know what? We got a legend right now that we got to bring in for a couple segments. And that guy, he is the sports editor-in-chief for the Detroit News, Mr. Rod Beard. Good morning, brother.
Gentlemen, good morning. We got a Tigers game at the same time that we have Pistons game. We're doing pretty good.
Hey, we are there, man. All four teams are active in the month of October. It is now officially October in the D. You know what? We're talking about this ALDS Game 3. We all know if Scoobs is out there, pencil that in for a dub. But when you got to kind of go the route of the bullpen, AJ Hinch has had some success. Game 1, not so much. But I do believe that can help keep the Cleveland hitters off balance. What do you think about this Game 3 today?
I think Flannel Sam just called for a no-hitter because he said offers for everybody. I mean, you can't even have a pinch hitter that gets a hit, so it's no for it. Flannel Sam no-hitter. He already called it. It doesn't even matter what we think.
No,
might as well not even play the game.
For the record, it's more emblematic of the fact that the Guardians lineup is top-heavy, just like the Astros one was. And when I was talking about Naylor, I was talking about Bo, not Josh. Josh is legit. Bo is a bum, at least as a hitter. But Rod Beard, Tarek Skubal, he had a pitching Triple Crown season. He's going to win the Cy Young, but he has managed to up it to another level in the playoffs. How impressive has he been, and how important is he to the team's World Series chances?
It's insane, and it's not quite there, but it's almost on Verlander status where it is you have to watch every game because there could be a no-hitter somewhere in there, and that's not even a joke. Those first couple of innings is like, are they going to get a hit? Is something going to happen here? The issue there, though, is that you've got to get him some run support, or you're going to run into what we had, which was kind of a tensing up of, are the Tigers going to be able to win this? They can't waste this, Jim. If they lose this Skubal game 1-0 or 2-0 or something, and he pitched that well, there's no hope for the rest of this series because you just can't waste a game like that. Luckily, they were able to win it. Luckily, they're still in this series, and they could win this thing at home. I mean, we could be talking about tomorrow if the Tigers go into the ALCS, and that is insane.
That is absolutely insane. And you know what? One of those people, one of the people you can credit for this run, AJ Hinch. Man, I just wanted you to be able to speak to the job that AJ Hinch is doing right now for these Detroit Tigers. There were some times in the past where we wondered, is he the guy that had the magic with the Houston Astros? And this year, you're talking about a 0.2% chance to make the playoffs. You're talking about being major injuries to some of your major players and still finding a way to not just make the playoffs, not just have a cute season, but you're tied 1-1 right now with a chance to go up 2-1 and have a great opportunity to move on in this series.
No, and I think he's gotten the buy-in from everybody that there are cases where you're pinch hitting for torque, and it's like, wait, what? That's a number one pick that you're talking about pinch hitting for. There are times when he's gone to the bullpen, and certainly in that Houston game where you get an inning from this guy, you get 2 batters from that guy, you get an inning and a half from that guy, and you make it work with 7 pitchers in a clinching. You can't make that stuff up. That's T-ball level stuff or early travel level stuff where you're just throwing a bunch of guys at another team and you make it work. And I think we talked about before, you're used to a pitching staff. You're used to like a Glavine Maddox, Smoltz type deal when you get to the playoffs and you get to a 5-game series. You're going to do this with Scooble, roll the dice, Scooble, whatever happens, and back to Scooble in game 5. I mean, this is really a masterclass that we're seeing from AJ Hinch in terms of managing both the pitching roster, the bullpen, and then also managing the lineup.
Hey, speaking of masters, when it comes to hitting right-handed pitching, Kerry Carpenter does it just about as good as anybody in Major League Baseball. How great was it for you to see him have one of the biggest moments in Tigers history, and just how important has he been to this team? Because the Tigers would not be where they are without Kerry Carpenter.
Yeah, I mean, that was right along the Maglio Ordonez vibes of just, it wasn't a clincher. It didn't get you to the next level, but it was very much that saved whatever season, little bit of the season you have left. Because if you lost that game, you're talking about going down 0-2. You got to win both here, and then you got to go back. But you got to win your Scooble games, and you got to win those pinch hit battles like that. And it just felt like if he could square one up somewhere, then that was just going to be the end of that. And again, that ball hit to the outfield that Quan got to, that's a hit.
Yeah,
that's just a hit. Yeah. That's not even the ball bounces. If you know physics at all, the ball bounces, and whether it's in his glove, it hits the ground, and that's the key there. So the Tigers really got the break, even though they didn't get the right call there. Carpenter came through for him to be able to hold that game too. And then Brisky, you don't discount Brisky in that situation to be able to come in and fight off those nerves and to be able to get those last 3 outs.
Absolutely. And I want to shift gears really quick to the Lions. It's crazy. The Lions are in their most anticipated season ever. They're 3-1. They're about to play the Cowboys, and they're basically been buried.
Nobody cares.
Put them in the B block.
No, but for real, Rod, how do you see this game going when the Tigers go the Freudian slip, when the Lions go to Dallas and play the Cowboys on Sunday?
I think they go and they play a good game on the road, and we've seen their ability to do that already. But we talked about how the offense isn't really clicking on all cylinders just yet. I think this is the time when we start to see both the offense and defense play well. Dallas isn't playing great shakes either. They're not doing all the stuff that their expectations are either. So home game, Lions come in. It's a different level of expectation now that people know what they're going to get from the Lions. You may not know what you're going to get from Dan Campbell on the play calling and going for it on 4th down, but you know what you're going to get, a tough game from the Lions every Sunday or Thursday or Monday, because they're not even just playing on Sundays anymore. They're all over the map on a national stage.
Hey, Rod, I just wanted to get your macro level view of what the Lions are so far at this point, now that we're a quarter into the season. Hopefully we can make this a thing every 4 games, but what are your takeaways, and what do you expect to see from the Lions in the next 4 games?
Well, first quarter grades, I give them an A because they did what they were supposed to do. You're not going into this 2-2, and there's so many other teams that are 500 record and trying to figure out who they are or where they are. I mean, look at where the Packers are. Look at where the Ravens are. There's so many, and the 49ers. They're teams that people thought in the NFC that were going to be right there and challenging the Lions for the top of the NFC. And you got the Vikings right there. I mean, they did what they're supposed to do. Now they just got to run down and chase the Vikings and win those games that they're supposed to. Because Sam Darnold does not put the fear of God into you that he's going to come out and throw 5 touchdowns. You just got to start ramping up and playing the quality level of football that we've used from seeing from the Lions for the past couple of years.
Jeez. Hey, Rod is bringing the heat, and we got one more segment of the heat. It was out in East Lansing, man. Saw your guy Cody Davis holding it down strong for the Detroit News, and we got to talk about it. But walk in any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today, open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a $20 haircut special, scalp massage, hot lather, neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. I had to emphasize that because yesterday you guys thought I said hot leather. It's hot lather. People, listen,
on free time,
take advantage of our $20
hot leather
haircut special. Just scan the QR code. It's somewhere on the screen.
Some chaps.
Flannel got the big old QR code for Dispo. It's somewhere on the screen for Lady
got chaps out here. The assless chaps.
Chaps out. Why they got that? Over 7 days a week.
Commercial.
Walk-ins are always welcome. It's wicked awesome. Oh my God.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup, and your Tigers fandom, Red Wings fandom. Hey, you know what? Tigers, all of it. Detroit sports fandom. Just fuel it all and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you are gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com and choose your favorite roast. Use code Woodward to get 25% off your subscription order. Awake and unwind. Support local and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. And what up, though, people? We are back. And you know what? We're going to have to update some of these reads because at the time, the Lions were like the only team that was worth putting on these reads. And now, all of a sudden, like it's a few months later, we just got Sabbath in here. The Tigers are like, hey. So, you know what? We're going to have to make sure they get in on some of these things for sure. But we got the legend, Detroit News, Rod Beard, the sports editor-in-chief of the Detroit News. And you guys already know we got to welcome him during our Woodward Pistons segment with the drum roll. So let's get that going, y'all. Let's rock. Hey, yo! Shout out and welcome to the legend, Detroit News, Rod Beard. Before we go to him, I just wanted the people to see the back screen real quick. You got the next one up?
Yeah.
It was dope. I just need the people to see it. The Breslin Center. It was a home game last night for the Detroit Pistons. I know, JB, you might have some of those pictures as well.
Oh yeah, I have some of them.
Yeah, it was a dope experience. So I'll get Rod back in here while you guys get that stuff up. It was dope. Shout out to the Golden Voice, Neil Rule. He was on the radio call last night. Devin Booker in the building wearing Michigan State stuff, man.
Yes.
Y'all keep trying to sell this dream.
That's the wrong home. Devin Booker, that's the wrong home. I asked you to come home to the Pistons, and instead, he's wearing green and white, not even maize and blue.
But Kool-Aid, if he comes to the Pistons, he can wear green and white all he wants at the games, right? Yeah, if he comes to the Pistons, and I'm a Michigan fan, you are too.
He can warm up and let him play in a state jersey, and then we'll just know he's on the. I don't care anything to get him on this Pistons roster.
Not coming.
Dream killer.
Stop it.
I'm sorry.
Stop it. You know
guys,
what?
don't get your hopes up, man. I love Devin Booker.
We're gonna talk more about this.
Coming.
KG does not exist right now. We're gonna.
Okay, go ahead.
I got
in typical Pistons fashion, we will get him when he's 35 and shooting mid-range shots all the time.
My man
that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be.
He said Chris Webber in the Pistons uniform. You know what? Let's get Rod's thoughts going, and we gotta talk about the Pistons, East Lansing. I got some audio from JB Bickerstaff and from Jaden Ivey, man, about his coach. Some interesting stuff there. But Rod, take it away with Rod's thoughts, man. You're glowing with Tigers fever right now.
Preseason basketball is just fun to have back, in that first Pistons preseason game against the Bucks on ESPN of all places, and they play like that. Hey, you take them where you can get them. If you only got 14 last year, you take a preseason one and you walk away. But I think it was good to see the chemistry with Cade and Jalen Duren. A couple of good pocket passes. You see the activity that Duren has. But Jaden Ivey was the takeaway for me, that the work that we thought he needed to put in and being active in that second group, coming in and doing that was something good to see. It's a step. And if that carries over into the regular season, this might be somewhere in the 20s. You can peak at 30 wins if you start seeing something like that.
Yeah, and you know what? The room here is very, very optimistic about the Pistons. I believe I might have had the lowest total. I said 28 ceiling, but I could see them having a recipe to do 30. got Flannel, I think you said, what, 35?
My final prediction is 32 and 50.
32
I
and
said
40.
35.
You said 35. JB Smooth, you were in the 32 range as well?
I think 35, 38.
Yeah, and you know what? You guys aren't as far off.
38.
There's a lot of...
All right, 38 is.
Listen,
38.
Rod, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Hopeful, Rod. Be hopeful for this team.
Listen, but he's not alone. I've been talking to the fans. I've been talking to them. Fans are very optimistic. They believe in the changes that the Pistons have made in the front office. They believe in the vets that we have right now. And they believe, you know what, in JB Bickerstaff, in this process that I keep hearing, in the organization that I keep hearing, and they're getting optimistic. Me personally, me, Cody, Vinny Goodwill of Yahoo Sports and other people, I'm like, man, I don't know if I can get sucked back in like this again. I want to see this thing work, and it's cool to see it from this technical standpoint now, but one of the things that I absolutely love when you talk about JB Bickerstaff and the impact he's having on his squad, one, Jaden Ivey serves as one of the biggest litmus tests. And I just want you guys to hear Jaden Ivey. Got a chance to talk to him after the game last night. He started off preseason with a bang. You got that video? That's right.
And just to follow up on that, beyond what you bring to it as well, how much of it is JB Bickerstaff and the offensive system he's trying to instill with you all now?
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, I've had the ball a lot more, so I've been able to make plays with the ball. So credit to obviously my coach, putting me in a position to do that. And obviously when I do have the ball, I have to make sure I'm taking care of it and making sure I'm putting my teammates in a better position and our team as well, and making the right plays. It comes with responsibility. So. Definitely up for that challenge and continuing to grow.
And what you hear him talking about with his coach, JB Bickerstaff, it's something that he's consistently stated from the beginning as well. He doesn't want to hold any of these players back, which is something that we thought was happening to Jaden Ivey last year. And we'll play JB Bickerstaff's audio right now, as well as it relates to
the last couple games, about 98 points in the paint. A lot of cutting, a lot of passes. Is this what you envisioned when you said you don't want to hold these guys back? You want to play them to their fullest ability?
Yeah, we want to be aggressive. We want to put pressure on defenses, whether they have to foul us. We're one-on-one guys have to really be challenged to stop us. And then how do we create those layups and paint touches? We don't want it to just be a one-on-one show. We want to create some movement. We really believe that our big guys can pass the basketball. So we want to put the ball in their hands and then let them make plays. And that's where you're seeing a lot of that cutting. But that's our goal, is to be really, really aggressive in the paint.
And I love that answer from JB Bickerstaff, because that's what we wanted to see out of all these young players. Put them in a position to succeed. We know what his skill set is. And I believe that the shooting was also, like the shooters that they brought to the team, was also going to help Jaden Ivey just as much as it helped Cade Cunningham. In that first half of the game, they combined for 12 assists, that backcourt. So I do think that they'll be able to make it work. Did you have any questions for Rod as it relates to Jaden Ivey before we get into our swish or break? Not swish or break.
Let me just ask this. I kind
Yes,
of
sir.
asked a variation to this question to Kool-Aid on Monday after the first preseason game, but I'll go Jaden Ivey specific. Is there anything you've seen from him in these first two games that can translate to him having a better season this year than this previous year?
The decision making and the composure. He's playing at the right speed. He's not out of control and losing the ball, and a couple of turnovers last night, but that's not too concerning. I think it's just he's got his head on straight, and his speed with his body is matching his thinking speed. And when you see that happen, you see the production that he's trying to give us now.
Yep. And you know what? I've continued to kind of try and figure out a way I can pull this from JB Bickerstaff as it relates to, was there things he saw from the outside looking at the Pistons that he was like, you know what, I would definitely do this right. And that's what I was waiting to look and see. I know that the Pistons team has a lot of growing up to do, a lot of learning, because based on what they've been saying at all of the media availability is that they're finally learning that the way that he processes and disseminates information to them, it's just easier for them to understand. Jalen Duren said that, B. Stu said that, Jaden Ivey said that, K. all of your top young players. And I'm sitting here like, what's been going on? Jaden Ivey referenced the fact that he's had 3 coaches, and to this point, things feel much more clear and succinct right now. And that's why our swish or brick is centered around the impact JB Bickerstaff will have on this Detroit Pistons team. KG. DJ KG in the building.
What up?
Hey, let's get this thing going.
All right, let me get some music going. This is Swish or Brick, and like you iterated, reasons why JB Bickerstaff will help lead this Pistons team to 30 wins. Coming in at 1, Bickerstaff will put Asar Thompson and Ron Holland in positions to succeed offensively.
Ooh, you know what? And Rod, I'm gonna tell you this. Last night, I was sitting with Sean Murphy. Shout out Sean Murphy from Half Court, Mike Horan of Pistons PR, and some other people as well. And I talked about this with Cody Davis too. Ron Holland, we want to see him get that three-point shot together. He was 0-3 last night. He had an air ball as well. But his ability to attack the lanes, the driving lanes, when that ball is rotating around, you got three things you could do: pass, shoot, or drive. He was able to get into the lane and put a lot of downhill pressure on the defense and get to the free throw line. While these guys are still trying to get their shots together, I do believe that what we're seeing out of Ron Holland right now, and what I know we're going to get out of Asar Thompson, is that these guys are going to have much more impactful and successful seasons than anybody thought. Let's go, Rod.
I agree. I think that's I think just looking at Ron Holland on from the preseason so far, small sample size, obviously, but he looks composed the same sort of way, is that he knows where he's supposed to be on the court. He's using his strengths and relying on those. The three-point shot is going to be the three-point shot, and you don't want to see, like Asar last year, that it's in the teens of trying to figure that out.
Right.
But I think they would put him in positions where they could potentially win 30 games. And I think I've said previously that he's not going to play that huge a role because he's got to earn those minutes. And if he's playing a ton of minutes and something else is going wrong, he might work his way into playing some significant minutes and be a significant contributor on this team.
Hey, I like that. And we're going to go around the room. Swish or Brick, you guys think JB Bickerstaff figures out Asar Thompson and Ron Holland?
You were saying offensively, right?
Yep.
Offensively. I will go Swish, and the key word is efficiency. I don't expect Asar Thompson and Ron Holland to be two of the greatest contributors to the offense, but I expect Asar Thompson's three-point percentage to go up and Ron Holland's overall offensive efficiency to be better than we think it might be, specifically from the three-point line.
JB Smooth.
I got to go Swish with this one as well, too. I definitely think JB Bickerstaff will have them in a position that he knows that they can succeed in. He's seen, obviously, from these past 2 games in practice as well, too, what that he has to work with. So I definitely think he'll put him in the right position to actually make this Pistons team a lot better.
Yeah, I will go Swish as well. I think Sam hit it on the head. It's all about efficiency. That's the key word there. And, you know, JB Bickerstaff has a good track record with guards, and with Fred Vincent, you know, helping on the shooting end, I could definitely see them contributing a little more offensively. Not any great scorers by any means, but they will be able to contribute enough to give this Pistons team a lift.
Hey, let's rock. Let's get into question number 2. That is a Swish sweep.
Yes.
All right, coming in at 2. Bickerstaff will likely start Jaden Ivey most games, but will stagger Cade and Ivey's minutes together and give Ivey more opportunities to run the half-court offense.
Yep, and with this is effectively, at the core of this, JB Bickerstaff unlocking Cade and Jaden. What I've seen so far from this backcourt duel, not just what JB Bickerstaff will do, but how this backcourt is playing off of each other. You saw it last night. Cade didn't necessarily have the best shooting night. He didn't have the best shooting night the other night either. But we're seeing this backcourt, this fire and ice that we kind of thought we could get when they first drafted Jaden. We see JB Bickerstaff already having success with this right now. Swish or Brick? Mr. Rod Beard.
I will say bank on that it may end up happening because if you can get this level of production from Jaden Ivey, then it can work. But I still like the idea of him coming off the bench with Ivy and getting one of those veterans in that starting lineup. It could happen. I just think it would be a bank, not a swish.
That's right.
After giving it some thought, I'm going to go around the rim and out. Not a full brick, but I agree that I would prefer like a Malik Beasley for the majority of games and for Jaden Ivey to come off the bench. But I wouldn't hate it especially if there's injuries, if it's something JB Bickerstaff tinkers with and experiments with.
JB Smooth.
Oh, man.
JB Bicker Smooth.
I think this is a layup that, as Flannel said, just kind of rolls off the rim. Like I want to see Ivy start, but then again, I do think coming off the bench would be a lot more efficiency for him. I know last night you didn't see Cade do a whole lot. He only had 3 points, but he was still making himself known out there on the court.
Yeah, 8,
but you
9,
still
6.
need that veteran point guard out there. Just to start, and then you can move everything around with Ivy as well. So this is a brick for me.
Yeah, and for the record, last night Cade played on only the first half, ended with 3 points but 8 assists, and you saw the complete pace of the team. People say, why ain't he shooting? The first half of that game was competitive, and the Phoenix Suns played their big three. The second half of the game, they started with their big three.
Yeah.
Cade wasn't in the game, and things went off the rails quickly. But KG, swish or brick, brother?
I got to go swish with this one. I'm back on the bandwagon of this Cade and Ivy backcourt can work. Now, we do need to see more consistency from Ivy in terms of, his offensive skills, especially if he's going to be running the offense and pushing the ball up. But if they stagger them correctly, then I do feel like you will get moments where Ivy will have to run the offense and he'll be your primary point guard, which he has proven that he can do. He just needs to tinker with some of the things offensively. But overall, it's a swish. I think they can make it work.
Let's rock. And you know what? We'll let this next one be the last one, and it is a big one because every Detroit Pistons winner has this one thing associated with it: defense. Let's get that question up, brother.
All right.
KG with the alley-oop.
Coming in at 3. JB Bickerstaff will get this Pistons team to a top 15 defense in the NBA. And for reference, StatMuse has their defensive rating from 2023 to be 118.8, which ranked 26 in the league.
Now, after the trade deadline, they actually were a top 20 team in the NBA in defense. After they got rid of their worst defenders, they made a jump. They got more versatile, and now you're adding in a guy like JB Bickerstaff who has more athletes on the team, more dogs on the squad. Ron Holland is wearing the other players' jerseys right now. And last night, there was a little scrum. There was a little scuffle. I don't know if people saw it or heard about it. Ron Holland would not let the player get in front of him. And then he poked the ball away and went all the way down the court. And the player still is trying to get around Ron Holland, and he's still playing defense. And the guy is just tackles Ron. And Ron, pushes him down, gets up, and looks at him and I was like, dog! Woo, woo, woo. Dog, man! And I'm just saying, and that's the rook. You can see it, man, from everybody. You got Paul Reed out there, man. He was blocking some shots in that first game. Beef Stew off the bench. That's what we've been calling for a while, to just unleash the energy. I believe that JB Bickerstaff, known for defense, is going to have this team take that next step this season, man. Swish or brick?
I'm going to go front rim, almost in. I don't think top 15, but they can be somewhere in that 15 to 20 range. They're going to be markedly improved on defense this year. Maybe not top 15, though.
That's right.
I'm going to go swish. I'm with Kool-Aid on this one. I'm with Kool-Aid on this one because I look at it. I look at Asar Thompson. I look at Ron Holland. I look at JB Bickerstaff as a head coach. I look at Paul Reed. I look at Isaiah Stewart. I look at a Jalen Duren who's got all the athleticism and ability in the world and needs some coaching. I look at Jaden Ivey, kind of the same thing. I look for him to improve. I look at Cade Cunningham with the length and all of that. With everybody that I mentioned, with JB Bickerstaff, it has to happen. When I'm looking at the sum of the parts, it has to be a top 15 defense.
Whew. JB Bickersmooth.
This is a brick. Come on, guys. Come on now. Look, I know I'm optimistic about them winning 35, 38 games, but you want this defense to jump up and just be top 15? No, I got to agree with Rod. You'll end up in that 15 to 20 range, but it'll still be an improvement. It just needs to slowly but surely get better. But 15, top 15? Come on now.
Yeah, I do think it's a bit of a stretch. I'm with JB on this one. I think they'll be just outside of the top 15. But they do have a lot of hope, going forward. Asar Thompson, he's only a second-year player coming off of blood clots. You don't know what the availability will be there. Also, Ron Holland, who plays great defense. I do feel like he'll be a contributor, but I think it's just going to take some time for them to mesh, man. So, not yet, but they will take a small step. They'll probably be 17th to 18th. I can see it.
Yeah, and that's better conversation. Initially, the preface was that they will be a top 15 team in the second half of the season, but you know what? Let's get there for the whole season. Let's at least make that the goal. But it's cool to see that through the exercise with this coaching staff, with the new players, and with the young guys, I believe getting the development that they need. we should see ample improvement. Even if it's not necessarily in the win column that we predict, we should see ample improvement. And through these preseason games, they just look more comfortable. They look more free-flowing. I was talking to somebody at the Pistons practice shoot-around yesterday, right? And I got some video just of practice. And it was interesting because he said, the vibes are just kind of a little bit different this year. And we even playing music. And I laughed at it. I just kind of brushed it off, posted the video. First comment, yo, I don't think I remember one clip last year where they played music. It was like they were practicing in jail. I was like,
oh, come on. Come on.
Damn. Monty had that locked down over there, man. Damn, Monty.
But the Pistons, man, people are liking the fight that they're playing with right now. We hope it continues. But Rod Beard, any last thoughts on these Detroit Pistons, man?
Playing basketball in jail, man. I mean, we got bookend comments. We got bookend comments for these segments. We got Flannel Sam's ultimate no-hitter with nobody getting anything, and then we got the Pistons playing in jail. That's the way we're going to finish today.
Let's rock, boy. That's the legend. Detroit News, Rod Beard, the sports editor-in-chief. Thank you for your time, as always, man. You are truly a legend. Thank you, brother.
Hey, good show today, guys.
Thank you.
Hey,
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Go
Appreciate
Tigers,
you,
man.
Rod.
ALDS Game 3 today. Let's rock. That is Rod Beard. As always, man, I can never say enough good things about Rod Beard, the legend, the GOAT. Great segment, great questions all the way around. Thank you for the assistance as well on Swish or Brick, Mr. KG.
You mean Swish or Break?
Gotcha. Right.
You know what? Let's get to the next segment, man. Oh, my gosh. Hold on, put that back up.
Great, bro.
Put that back.
Oh, my God.
Swish or Break? You know, if I grew my hair out, I'd probably look like that.
That's literally Nick Swisher.
Oh my God, what is
That's awesome.
I love that flannel.
Swisher sweet. Hey, bro. Come rock with Woodward, bro.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my God.
Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swisher, golly.
You're right. Hey, look at you. Look at you.
Swiss Insurance, not Swisher Insurance. Swiss Insurance will make sure your current carrier is slipping in nothing extra, all right, y'all? They will protect you. They got your back. I promise you in ways that Diddy. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today. 313-530-1698. Visit them online, SwissINS.com, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
And you know that Swiss has got your back as well, too, as well as Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan the QR code on the screen right now. Use code Woodward1000. You can deposit up to $1,000, and all you have to do is place a minimum bet of just $20. And if that bet does not hit, they will deposit that right back into your account. I'm not playing. Scan the QR code on the screen right now. Use code Woodward1000. And you know what? The Tigers are playing today, so make some money.
The Tigers is playing.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Your trusted real estate experts are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
You know what, man? People don't understand how clutch that again is. Gave me the extra seconds I needed.
Oh, yeah.
Again. But what up, though, people? It is Wake Up Woodward. It is an ALDS Game 3 for the Tigers. Wake Up Woodward today, man. Appreciate you guys for kicking off the day with the WUW Crew. It's been a great time. Love you, our guy, Matthew Broder. We got everybody else on the WUW Crew roster in the building. That dude, Justin, it's good to see you. You bringing that good mojo.
Yeah, I mean,
That's right.
I'm glad to be here. Let's go Tigers. Let's go.
Tigers, man.
Fuck the
Intern
Cowboys,
Chase.
too. I mean, while we're at it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
You're going to
Big
see
Cowboys.
some Content from one Mr. KG in about a day or two on the
okay.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Epic promo. I was like, my man got in his WWE bag.
You damn right.
We will play it on this show.
All right.
I'm going to send your video, too.
It's out.
It's out there.
It's out, yeah.
It's out there. Dope, man. But KG's in the building. Woodward Sports MVP, JB Smooth in the building. Flannel Sammy, your boy Detroit Kool-Aid. But we got to get into... I don't even want to do this segment.
It's hey man,
the fantasy football.
I'm ecstatic.
First time I'm here for it. I mean, I'm hyped about it. I mean, let's get it.
Just get into it, KG.
Hey man,
Get
it
out
is.
of here, KG.
Don't be mad, man. It's okay. It's all right to lose the greatness, man. But we are in week 5 of the WUW Crew Fantasy League, and JB, we are going to go right to the week 5 recap. And you know I got to come talk to my man Kool-Aid first because we had the best game of the weekend.
Yeah.
It was a close one, man. 3-point victory for your boy. Hey,
Congratulations,
146.
Mr. KG.
Hey, 146 to 143. Me representing Chuckle Cheese and Kool-Aid representing MJ in the chat. Shout out to you both. It was several lead changes in this game, man. And it took until the Monday night game for me to finally get this damn thing done, man. You had Geno go off 41 points, but that bum Dak Prescott somehow put up 41 points as well. That was a cancel out. And, I mean, where you got hurt at is Deebo Samuel, bro.
You know what the game was?
What?
Joe Burrow went off for 68 points on my bench.
Jesus, man.
Brother.
Hey, man, these are the decisions that make or break champions, man.
Goodness.
Clearly, you are not one. But Deebo Samuel screwed you over in this game, only putting up 3 fantasy points, 11 yards in total, man. A rough day at the office for him, but a good game overall. Shout out to you, Kool-Aid, but your boy has improved to 3
I will be a
and 2.
champion one day.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Moving on to the next game in our slate, it is Justin representing that guy 62 in the chat.
That dude, Justin,
versus
and that guy.
Dante 151, who is representing Allen W in the chat. And Dante 151 has salvaged his season. He gets a victory over Justin, maybe an upset in a lot of people's eyes.
It was definitely an upset.
Oh, it's an upset. The Lions were on bye week, and his whole team is lying.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
And I was leading the league. I was the 1 seed. How is that not an upset?
Hey,
Either
man.
way, hey,
It's
there's nothing to worry about when your quarterback is Jaden Daniels. All right, that's
is
all I
factual.
gotta say. Jaden Daniels, 13th round, masterclass choice. That dude is a dog. Honestly,
Offensive Rookie of the Year?
No. MVP. That dude is the MVP of the league right now. That dude is the MVP of the league right now.
You wildin'.
Straight up, that dude is our dog. Name someone who's played better. Name someone who's played better. Please. What? Josh Allen's 30% completion percentage.
He was actually delivering.
Why are you putting words in my mouth?
He was delivering.
You know what I was going to say? You know what I was going to say, Justin, very nicely? He has a case. Jaden Daniels has a case. Absolutely he does. He's been phenomenal.
There we go.
Well then.
Let's rock, boy.
All right, well, since the dust
WUW
is settled
Fantasy
down.
League, dog.
Hey.
Me and KG rumbling. You
Also,
and Flannel.
I can't believe I lost because of Tucker Kraft.
Yeah,
Dude dropped 30
hey.
points on me. What? Who is that guy? Sorry.
It ain't the only reason, but hey, it's good to see Dante 151 get back on that horse. He had his highest scoring game of the season, shattered his week 5 projection of 124 points. He put up a 161. CJ Stroud with 37 points, and we all know what he did, man. 331 yards, a touchdown, and he now has 300 yards and at least a touchdown in the last 2 games. DJ Moore, 27 points. Brian Thomas, 23 points, both over 100 yards and at least a touchdown. And Justin, I mean, Jamar Chase, 41 points, had 193 yards and 2 tutties. 2 tutties, man. But
The
where you
Nico
got
injury didn't help either.
Yeah, but where you got screwed at is Deontay Johnson and Devon Achane, 5 and 2 points respectively. You had Darnell Mooney, who had 31 points on your bench, and Rico Dowdle, I think that's how you say his last name, 19 points.
Rico Dowdle.
Yeah, if you started any one of those guys, you probably come out with the victory.
Yeah,
here.
no. I mean, nothing I could do about Achane. I mean, he got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt.
There's nothing you do. But Deontay Johnson, that was my fantasy sleeper from the beginning. I picked him in like the 15th or 12th round or something like that. I love him, and I'm going to live or die on that man being the number 1 option on a team that's always losing. So it is what it is, man.
Hey, not mad at you, man. But on to the next game in our slate. It is your boy, Flannel Sam, representing Patrick Ofiar in the chat versus Chase, representing Chinavirus in the chat. And Chase, man, it is you having a rough go of it this year, man. But 179 for Flannel to Chase's 122. Chase, you on a 4-game losing streak, my dog. You got to get it together over there, man. And Joe Mixon in this game, who you started, put up a goose egg. 0 points. Yes, I said 0 points. Marvin Harrison Jr., 5 points. Chris Olave, 3 points. Sheesh, man. Sheesh. You did have Drake London put up 33 and the Bears defense 16 points, but it was no way you was crawling out of this hole.
I felt like Flannel took this matchup like personally. Like it was like it became personal.
Hey, a little bit, man. And on Flannel's side, he put up the 2nd highest score this week. Woo. Mike Evans, George Kittle, DeAndre Swift all go for 20 or more points. Trey Sermon, who you picked up off of waivers, dropped 18 points and was the 6th highest scoring running back this week in our league. And James Cook also dropped 17 points. Good week for Sam.
That was a good week for me. And the funny thing is, I think people in the chat think that there's a rivalry between me and Chase brewing, but honestly, I'm a very gracious winner. Well played, Chase. You did get smashed by me, but you know what? It's okay. It happens to everyone.
Hey, and we are on to the final matchup. JB representing Ed O'Neill in the chat versus Broder, man. Shout out to Broder representing James in the chat. JB takes this one 189 to 144. 189. JB with a 44-point victory. Is that enough to get the Freak Off Award? We don't know. We shall see.
We don't know.
But we all know what this game was. Lamar Jackson, 62 fantasy points, 348 yards, 55 rushing yards, and 4 passing tutties, man. An absolute game by him. Brandon Ayuk with 22 points. And your kicker, Kaimi Fairbairn, with 15 points. That was the 4th highest for any kicker this week. JB, congrats to you. And with Broder, Josh Allen, only 24 points, projected to get 38, kind of a letdown there. And DK Metcalf with 7.5 fantasy points, the first time he's had fewer than 100 yards since week 1.
Shout out to Lamar Jackson. He was out there playing all Madden out there. Amazing game from him. And I took down the champ of Christian Wingo. Sorry, Broder. Had to do it to you.
Hey, it is what it is. Let's move on to these fantasy awards for week 5. JB got some graphics for us.
Who do you want to start
this
with?
week? We will start with the highest motor award. Let's ease our way into it. All right.
Okay. First and foremost, I'm sorry for this already, but let's get it.
All right. The highest motor award.
Apologize already
for the
my
week.
God, what's about to happen?
Hey man, hey, I can't control what JB does with images, so just disclaimer. But the highest motor award,
mama.
Yeah, the highest motor award, which is the highest scoring team in week 5, goes to JB with 189 points. Shout out to Polk High, Jay Bizzle.
That looks like President JB.
All right, JB, let's go to the biggest Woozer award. That is the closest loss. And Kool-Aid, you got to wear with this one, dog. Hold that L. Week 5, that goes to Kool-Aid, a.k.a. Dick Campbell Energy. You were so close, but you got to be a little bit quicker than that. And you lost by a total of 3 points, but low-key a good-ass game in the fantasy realm. JB, we got to go to the doormat of the week.
Doormat? All right.
Chase, man. For the 3rd time this season, Chase got to wear the doormat of the week. The Yangtze Riverbats only put up 122 measly points. But I am confident my man Chase gonna get back on that horse. But
based on what?
He's trying to be the version of the Washington Commanders that he predicted. That is
hey,
all.
man,
I dropped it in the chat. I'm gonna have to change our name to Nan King the way we've been getting tore up the last month.
Man, maybe you need to change
the
the juju.
Just say, look that up if you don't get it.
Damn, man.
I like that's a mic drop. Look that up.
You're right.
And then leaves the seat.
See, that's the crux of Chase, though. A little pretentious, but I love him. It's okay.
I love it.
Hey, hey, as the great Boondocks cartoon once said, that shit wouldn't happen to me though.
Yeah.
But let's go to our final weekly award, the Freak Off Award, which is the biggest blowout of the week. And coming in with the highest blowout of the week, Jay Bizzle. Go ahead, flash that. It is Flannel Sam with a 57-point margin in his victory.
That's crazy.
It is. That is
crazy. Oh my God.
Shout out to Flannel.
Not the titty bottle. Oh my God.
Flannel, you are a freaky ass boy and a 69 guy. Congratulations.
This is interesting. So I get the win, and I get this graphic.
Yeah. Hey, man. The biggest blowout of the week, man. You was having a freak off.
You know
was
what?
having a freak off.
Can you send that to Flannel? I just want to see what his wife would say if he just sends that to her. Like, hey,
That's fair.
I'm on the way home.
That'd actually be kind of funny.
All right, and JB, real quick, let's end this segment. I know we against the break. Just throw up the standings real quick if you got them.
I got you.
All right, coming in first, it is still, I think, Broder, it was actually a three-way tie. It still appears to be that way, but
What in the 3
It's a
and 2
5-way
is this?
tie.
so I found out it goes by head-to-head record, and if you haven't played each other yet, then it goes by points against. So that is how the standings are determined.
I like
so,
those tiebreakers.
Yep. So right now, Broder in first place, Christian Wingo at 3 and 2, Justin in second place, technically tied for first.
Hey, we got that matchup this week, me and Broder. So
Yeah.
gonna be fireworks. Hey,
It is.
Shout out Nick Chubb, Puka Nakua, and Hawkinson on my IR. League better watch out.
He has the literally all his reserve spots are used up, man. Justin been going through it, but Flannel Sam coming in at third, 3 and 2, also tied for first, and Dick Campbell Energy coming in at 4, and your boy just outside, man. I'm technically tied for first as well, but if the playoffs started today, I would be out. But your boy in fifth, and that is your WUW Crew Fantasy Week 5.
Let's rock. Great job on this, man.
Hey,
Great job.
thank you.
It's dope, man. JB with the graphics, KG organizing all of this, man.
I said it ahead of time. I'm sorry.
Hey, man, he tried to warn y'all.
It's great, though, dog. I love this stuff. Thank you, as always. Hey, let's pay some bills. I know we got what's trending and mailbag segment as well. So make sure you guys are getting those mailbag questions in to the chat.
You know what? Let's do Soroki's and Boys and Girls Club.
Let's go.
Soroki's
Let's do
Crispy
it.
Chicken and Pizza has a new limited time offer just in time for this football season. Soroki's is debuting their fresh, signature flavored wings. Grab your friends, order a New York style pizza, and add fresh wings for the games this weekend. Try one of their 7 flavors, or go to their website at Sorokis.com, and then the Boys and Girls Club. Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Hey, listen, let me tell you guys about the New Holland Brewing Company watch party and post-game show live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township. We listened to you all. You wanted to be a part of the watch party. Every single Lions game, it's going down. And we want to see you guys out there. Hey, come out, drink, and cheer on the brand new Lions at Hayes Social, only on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. And if you can't come, make sure you're tapped in to the live stream. It is a perfect companion to the game. All this is brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Tully, your local long drink, 1800 Tequila, Sabbath Coffee, and Soroki's. I'm telling you, instant analysis, instant reactions. Shout out to Stick and Anson hosting the postgame show, the heavyweights, and all the rest of Woodward Sports Network. Let's go.
Hey, 1800. Speaking of the post game and watch parties, 1800 Tequila, official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions watch parties and post game show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate the wins with smooth 1800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best tasting tequila. Drink responsibly.
And we are back. We're not going to deliberate, man. It's just time to spark up. Word to Dispo, JB Smooth.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Oh, he's here. He's there. He's every fucking where. JB.
Let's rock.
Hey. Hey. What's up, fellas?
Hey.
What's going on?
The Ted Lasso reference, if y'all didn't get.
All right, before I hop into what's trending, I'm glad Justin is here so he can pretty much elaborate on this as well, too. But I don't know if you guys know, but the NHL is actually really progressive right now. And I got to shout out to one Miss Jessica Campbell, who actually started her head coaching career the other night, yesterday, in the NHL. She's the first female head coach.
She's an
of the
assistant coach,
Kraken.
JB.
Oh, she's assistant coach? I apologize.
First NHL assistant coach in general, above the assistant coach level in the NHL. Huge for the game, huge for women in hockey in specific.
Yes.
Even more known to be male-dominated than other sports around the United States. So shout out to her. She deserves it. I've only heard great things from around the league about her. So amazing stuff coming out of Jessica Campbell for the Seattle Kraken.
And see, that's why we got you around, because I would have completely messed that up. But she is the first assistant female coach in the NHL right there. Hey, look, this is why we have Justin around, because like I would have messed that up completely. But I'm just happy to see that a female is now taking head coaching or assistant coaching responsibilities in the NHL. Yeah. Like it's about time that these things actually start to happen. So I'm just proud and happy of it right now. So shout out to her.
Shout out.
Hopefully the season is a success. And you know what? I'll be keeping an eye in. I'll be tapped in.
Shit, I play for her.
Hey, you'll play with her? What?
No, I said play for her.
Hey,
watch it. Watch it.
What? 24?
I'm not an animal. Jesus Christ.
Whoa there. All right, but Kool-Aid, I can't believe you let this footage leak, man.
What?
I know you were at East Lansing yesterday. I'm sure you took Kid Kool-Aid over there, and you just had to school him on the court for some reason. I don't know why you did this.
Oh man, what's up? What? Why is he out there?
Oh, with the sweatbands on.
What?
Jesus.
Pee Wee League Kobe out there. What is he doing?
Right.
Buckets.
Game.
It's Kool-Aid against Kid Kool-Aid.
Look.
The walk-off.
Oh my gosh. And he's out there yelling too. You hear him?
He and one of his kids. It's crazy, man. This is child abuse a little bit. This is
My
borderline
man out
child
there
abuse.
looking like Corey Maggette, dog. Shout out Corey Maggette.
He called the foul.
Oh.
Hey, you fouled me, bro. You
So
fouled
it's an
me.
excuse when he misses. What a bum.
Kool-Aid, why you do this, man?
That ain't me. I'm not missing.
Come on.
This is Kool-Aid against his kids.
Oh, I will. I'll talk trash to them.
Yeah, I know. Be out there with the D-pads. You ain't playing with these kids. You ain't got time.
Bye.
Oh, they got the Mike Breen going on it too.
Bang!
Bang! Bang!
When Fennel and I break bread, goodness gracious, dog. I remember I ran a camp for some kids that were in elementary school, and it was just like, can't do this again. Can't do it. I need like middle school, high school, and older. It was wild, bro.
Dude, like, kids are in a lot of ways the worst. I'm not saying that like everybody's individual kids are the worst, but dealing with them on like a substitute teaching level or on like your level as a camp instructor, it's not easy.
Yeah, Flannel, I can't lie. If you were my substitute teacher, like, I'd fuck with you. Like,
Have some respect, kids. The youths. I'm gonna start to be like the actual old man yelling at clouds, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
we definitely acting up in flannel class. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely acting up in flannel
That
class.
might need to
and
be a
you
segment.
know what? You're probably definitely acting up when flannel takes you on a field trip. Chase, I'm never going to the zoo again.
What? Oh, the kid. Wait.
Chase, do you see this?
Why is the kid not on the hayride?
Wait, what?
Oh, shit. Ain't this kind of on the school? Why is the kid not on the cart with the rest of the kids?
What do you do in a situation like that, too? I be thinking sometimes when I walk around like the Detroit Zoo, I'm like, I'll punch that bird in the face if it come at me. But I'm like, no, I won't.
Oh, yeah, you would.
You get
Okay.
up to the exhibit and you're like, that's really a big bird.
The run by the kid, though, to get back to this cart is hilarious, bro. He was trying his hardest to get back to that fucking cart.
Flannel, would you save him? Would you save the kid?
Jack Sparrow run right
That's
there.
a big
Somebody
bird.
come get my baby.
Chase
Man.
is like, that's a big bird.
If you're the parent of this kid, you mad as fuck. Like you are incensed. Like,
it's the way he gets trampled by the bird. Though.
that's
like,
pretty bad.
Flannel, are you saving this kid or what?
Honestly, knowing the youths that I dealt with, that kid probably thought he could take the bird or something and was being disrespectful, so he gets what's coming to him.
Yeah, that ostrich.
If he can run back, he's fine. I'm not saving.
Flannel is saying that in the type of way that makes me feel like he would have told him, "Oh, you think you can outrun him? Show me."
The ostrich.
I have bad memories.
The ostrich is among the largest of the bird species. It's very pretty lucky that he only got like trampled a little bit.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you because I'd be like,
Yeah.
man, I'm gonna. So
I
when
don't
we
know,
see that, just run.
There's another bird that I'd be a little bit more frightened of. It's called a cassowary. It's this like South American, like it looks like an ostrich, but a little bit more colorful. And it's a little freaky. But yeah, I mean, similar vibes.
Yeah.
The ostrich kind of reminds me of like if you watch like Jurassic Park. It's like the closest thing that looks to like what like the velociraptors and stuff look like.
Jeez.
So, you know, I'm just like watching the video of it running around. I'd consider yourself lucky, kid. I don't know. Stay in the cart.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
Just
telling
stay
you.
in the car.
And listen,
Kool-Aid, you thought you was gonna square up with an ostrich?
I thought I was. I was gonna ask Chase like, bro, what do I do? And now I know. Run. Kids, y'all gotta run too. I can't carry y'all.
Just next time run.
I can't live in a world where there's a bird called a cassowary. Jesus, Chase. You're so on brand. But I love you, man, but you're very on brand.
Right, you hate on him because he got animal knowledge?
Technically, he is a pro. He is a pro. You work with
Flannel
the
is
industry.
anti-animal.
Anti-animal.
You are anti-animal.
I'm just, you use a lot of big words, man. Lots
I know,
of
dude,
words.
I got hate on the heavies for using mononucleosis.
As you should. It's mono. It's literally mono. I get it. Nucleosis is technically the full word.
I little accent on it or try to sound fancy.
You know how much I
Y'all
need
mad because my man's smart, though.
I need T-Time Flannel some more, dog.
Y'all mad because my man's smart, dog. That's crazy.
Mononuclear cassowary. Nobody knows what a cassowary is.
I'm not
look
trying
at
to be
Big
David
Brain over
Attenborough
here.
out here, just like narrating this stuff with a soft whisper.
Dog. Look at us trying to take away the nerves of this ALDS game 3.
Get a load of the nerd over here. Like, damn, y'all mad because he's smart?
No, not bad.
And this guy goes on and on about all the numbers of baseball. Meanwhile, I just named one animal that exists, and I'm
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I'm a little bit of a nerd myself. So.
All right, finally, I will end what's trending with this.
What a show. I
Do you
love
guys know how to tell when your friends aren't shit?
Yeah. Big. Yeah.
Well, one of them is when they don't help you move.
Ooh.
Hey, man, when you don't got a truck, you got to do what you got to do. Them U-Hauls getting expensive, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, what? I ain't gonna lie, I saw another video like this. And the hood was up. I'm like, why they drive with the hood up? And the camera like shows the front.
Yeah.
It's a dude underneath there putting water into the radiator.
Oh,
the car
what
driving.
the fuck? As you drive. That's some wild shit, man. But this reminds me of those Only in Detroit videos, you would see every night again.
Like with the cowboys?
Yeah, right. My man riding a horse on 7 Mile in the hood. Like, just random bullshit. Like, this is definitely up there, man.
Wow. Goodness. Hey, have any of you guys ever found yourselves in a situation like that before? I literally have.
Really?
It was college, man.
Wow.
I was moving from the dorm to apartment. And you know what, JB? My friends, maybe they didn't pass that test because I wound up having to move like this big old desk in my little contour. It was hanging out the back of the trunk and everything. I was out there looking like Megan Thee Stallion, bro.
Oh my God, not Megan though. Jesus Christ.
I'm saying, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope this thing doesn't fall out. I tried to tie it all down like the trunk. But yeah, dog, I've been there. I can't even lie.
Hey,
I wasn't standing on the car though.
All I know is my man better not hit no turns. He better be going straight the whole route. Because if he hit a turn, ass
turn. If he's driving on Old Mountain Road, he's done.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's done. Goodness.
But that's it for what's trending, you guys. Let's hop into some mailbag, man.
Hey, JB.
Hey, tell us about Dr. Pierce.
Hey, I will. Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy, every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce, he's here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
And Salvation Army.
Absolutely. Have you ever thought about volunteering but don't know where to start? Start with the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. Visit registertoring.com to sign up for shifts. You'll have an option to choose a 2-hour session at a physical Red Kettle site or participate in a virtual bell ringing shift to raise funds from the comfort of your own home. Virtual bell ringers can sign up and begin raising funds at any time. Traditional bell ringing begins on Friday, November 7th and runs through Christmas Eve, excluding Thanksgiving and Sundays. To sign up for volunteer shifts, visit registertoring.com.
You want to do Feldman and just hop in the mailbag?
Let's do it. I love it. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
And we are back. It's time for the Wake Up Woodward mailbag segment presented by the Feldman Automotive Group. Hey, get those mailbag questions in, and I see one already from Charles McClain. Feldman mailbag. Ravens are favorite to get Adams. If they get Adams, are they the favorites over Sam's favorite team, the Chiefs?
Oh, a lot of favorites there.
A lot of favorites there.
No, they are not, but I would expect them to meet in the AFC title game. Devontae Adams would be the best receiver Lamar's ever played with. I need to see it from Lamar in the playoffs before I can say they are the favorites over a 3-time Super Bowl champion in the last 5 years. But they'd be better, that's for sure.
Lamar Jackson with Devontae Adams. Sheesh, man.
Sure.
You add that to Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews and what they got going on over there, that's nasty, man.
What do defenses do?
Derrick Henry, yeah.
But that's been the big knock on Lamar. I mean, besides, him just choking in the playoffs, he hasn't really had the receiver help. I mean, the most premier wide receiver he's had was OBJ, and we all know how that went. So, yeah, that'd be nasty if you do that.
Yeah, man, goodness gracious, that'd be nasty. What team do you believe is that the team that he helps the most? If that's where he goes, to the Ravens?
Yeah, because if he goes to the Steelers, I mean, the quarterback situation over there, butt cheeks. I can't really see him going nowhere else. I don't know why he would want to go to the Jets at this point.
I think the Jets are out as well as the Saints too, given the fact that Derek Carr has went down too.
Yeah.
So
I got another team in the Maryland area that Devontae Adams would be a good fit for.
Oh, here we go.
The Commanders.
Your favorite team.
Yeah. I've been quietly saying they're going to be good all year. So.
Sheesh.
But
he never once wavered.
They have a ton of cap space, so they could take on the money of his deal. And then, I mean, you have a good quarterback with Jaden Daniels producing and performing way higher than even a lot of people who expected him to be as, a good quarterback. Nobody expected him to go. I think it was like 6 incompletions across 2 games, more scoring drives than turnovers or incompletions. He's been truly fantastic.
Yes.
So.
That would be,
And they were on Ayuk as well early on. Maybe they are trying to get that wide receiver from him. And you think about it. Even if as an organization you want your best opportunity to get more draft capital, if your squad is ahead of time right now, you got to do something. You have to do something about that. Even the Tigers, even if it's something small, we saw the Tigers do something small that paid big dividends. If the Commanders are that team, which I thought they changed up their culture very, very well, you got to go out there and get them a target.
Hey, and Devontae Adams, that's big time. That's big time. That
ain't no slouch.
No, not at all.
All right, let's see where we at. Oh, Allen W. Feldman Mailbag. Kool-Aid. I know the rotations are set in stone, but how do you think Asar will be used when he returns? I'm intrigued to see him and Ron out there together, and that's something I've been hearing. I know early on there was some thought that maybe those guys will vulture each other's minutes, and there will be some overlap there where that happens. But when you could put out death lineups of young guys that actually are ready to guard the number ones, they won't do it perfectly, but they're ready. Asar was ready day one, and I'm calling it right now. Ron Holland is ready day one to guard the other team's best players. He won't have to do that. But imagine bringing him and Asar Thompson in together. I think you got to see it. I know people worry about the shooting, but the athleticism, the defense, it'll be off the charts.
Top 15 defense, loading.
Let's go. Anything from you on it, Ashley? I appreciate your perspectives on the kind of the aspect of Ron Holland and Asar Thompson. What do you think about them playing together?
Yeah, I mean, do you think that their maybe projected offensive deficiencies will be offset by what they bring defensively?
That's the thing, and that's where my question to JB Bickerstaff was about the fact that the offense right now, it's flowing much better. You're seeing passes, you're seeing cuts, things that I was screaming about all last season. Even people that are tapped in Woodward Pistons, you saw no lob passes, you saw nobody cutting, you saw no movement. This offense has that. You see Jalen Duran throwing passes from the top of the key, from Simone Fontecchio and other people getting assists. So I do believe from that standpoint, getting more movement, more rhythm, more motion, you're going to see these guys have some more success.
Sure. I would love to see it. Don Beats. This is an interesting one.
Shout out.
Probably needs more than the time we can allot it. But if the Tigers win it all, will this be the best title run in all of sports history?
That's broad.
Yeah.
It'd be a made-for-movie.
Yeah.
Instantly. I don't know if it's the best one, but for at least Detroit sports.
Sam would have a new favorite
It would
baseball
be
movie
excellent.
because this would be like the time Moneyball actually worked.
Yeah.
Hey, Moneyball worked.
And they didn't win a World Series.
Hey, that's all right. You see that 20-game win streak. I know they didn't win it all, but
they got on base.
They don't hang banners for regular season.
That's fine. That's
tough.
Yeah,
maybe one of the better ones in recent history, but besides that, I don't know if it's challenging all of sports history.
Well,
that's
the thing. That's
a lot.
It depends on what you define as a great title run, because if you want to say it's one of the better underdog stories, absolutely, no question about it, all that they would have to do to get there. But honestly, even if you're a favorite, if you've been a wire-to-wire great team and you win it all, like the 0-2 Red Wings, for example, there's something special about that as well. So I think I would have to do a lot of research and a lot of deep diving to answer this definitively.
Yeah, so Feldman mailbag, I got one from Randall Smalls
Real quick, just to go back to that last question. One in recent memory that we could probably relate this to, and shout out to our guy Braylon who's brought this up. It's the 2019 Stanley Cup run that the St. Louis Blues went on, where they changed their goalie, last place team, 0% chance to the playoffs. Fair. That's probably the most comparable in recent memory to what the Tigers have done.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep, that's a good point. But Randall Smalls, Feldman mailbag. Have a feeling we are going to be hard often today. Who is hitting a dinger tonight? I got 3. Parker, Riley, and Torque. Who do you think is getting on base today? Who's getting the knock?
Green, get off the snide.
He's due for one, yeah.
He's due for one. I thought he was going to get off the snide in the last game, but I want to see Riley Green absolutely go ham.
Yeah, Riley Green, 100%. And just for the record, Riley Green has been on base in every playoff game he's ever played.
Give me Green, give me Keith, and give me is Carey in the lineup.
I mean, Alex Cobb is pitching, so he will be.
Yeah, so give me Carey, man. He might have another bomb today too, man.
Jake
Keep
Rogers
it going.
in
It's the Walrus. I don't know. We'll see.
I know Duke Silver when I see him.
Let's rock, man. Let me see. You know what? We'll let this be the last one. Steve-O, baby. This is for you, KG, and for anybody else. Feldman Mailbag. KG, how many F-bombs will there be on the live stream today? I'm fired up, baby. Let's go.
Hey, a lot. Hey, we going to have the whole E&E team there. Don't know who else is going to join, but just make sure y'all tuned in, man. An hour of E&E, and then we going right into the watch party for first pitch, I believe, at like 3:05, 3:06.
Are we going to have Pete?
Yeah, oh yeah. D-back on it. Yeah, it's going to be a time, man. Make sure y'all tuned in.
That's almost like a rallying call or a rallying cry now, man. I'm seeing people put it all in comments and replies and such. Hey, it's an
epic
awesome
call
time.
by Pete.
Yeah,
it's those moments and those memories. Like I'm gonna remember this forever, no matter what the Tigers do. I'm gonna remember a lot of this stuff forever because we're right here in the trenches with our brothers watching it, with our chat family as well, supporting Woodward Sports, man. I'm glad that this thing exists. We get to do this together, and chat family. We get to have a lot of fun with you guys too, man. Thank you guys for supporting us. It's been a great show. How you feeling, man?
Oh yeah, it has been a great show. And just remember, nobody has any room to talk about dorky, uncoordinated celebrations quite like myself. So leave my man Pete alone. Leave my man Pete alone.
I love Pete, man. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I love about being here.
Yeah.
It's the people, man, that make it go. And it's the chat family. I think that's the show. We'll wrap it up.
Absolutely, that's the show.
It's time to go. Those are bars, too. I don't know if y'all knew it. You can go back and I was rhyming. All right. Thank you guys for kicking off the day with Wake Up Woodward. It's been a show. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder. Chat family, you guys, as always, are electric, man, and you were on one. We hit our normal goal. So I appreciate you guys for that on ALDS Game 3. We want to hear you, Detroit. Show out. That dude, Justin, intern Chase, Matt Broder. Hey, even Brody is in the building, man. Shout out to Brody, man. Sales guy. But we got in the sound booth. Hey, you know what? Let me do this right, because we got an elite booth here. Our elite, wonderful, stupendous, great, magnificent. I'm talking about some dogs better than the rest.
Come on.
Nobody does it like these guys.
Talk to me.
On the ALDS Game 3, you talk about some dogs, man.
Yeah.
X-ray the chest, you see it, man. In the sound booth, we got Detroit's #1 draft pick, KG, a.k.a. Black Hollywood.
Yes, sir. Hey, much love to the chat. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. And shout out to the team, JB, for the graphics. You did a great job with that.
No
and
problem.
let me get my shit off for the fantasy segment, man. So, but no, we let's keep this shit rolling, man. Go Tigers,
Go
man.
Tigers. Let's
End
rock.
this in Detroit.
Woodward Sports is MVP in the TD booth. JB Smooth.
Hey, once again, another great show. The city is starting to wake up right now. You can feel it. Everyone is heading downtown. If you were taking off of work, do it and go and celebrate the Tigers right now. Get those drinks flowing. 3 o'clock. It's going to be a party in Comerica Park.
Hey, it's going to be a party.
Yes, sir. If you know called no show, don't get shown on camera. So
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
Let's rock. You know what? That right there is the vet of the network, the vet of the squad. Flannel Salmon. I'm seeing some Matt Veerling love in the chats as well. Someone who might get on base.
Oh, Matt Veerling absolutely deserves love. What a season he has had. And I agree with KG. End this in Detroit. And I get it. A series win is a series win. But especially whoever goes out as the opener, maybe it's Tyler Holton. He's got all of Detroit behind him. I just don't see... I'm not saying that they're for sure going to sweep, but I definitely see them at least taking one in Detroit and then going back to Game 5 at Cleveland with Skubal on the mound. So the Tigers are well set up regardless of the scenario.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's your boy Brandon, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer for the network. It's been a great day. Great to have you in the studio. That dude, Justin. Every time we can see our family is awesome. And chat family, you guys have a great day. Thank you for supporting us and hitting that like button. If you haven't gotten the opportunity, definitely do so. Be blessed, y'all. Go Tigers! It's Wake Up Woodward. Fired up, man.